I don't even know what the hell is going on in Cleveland. I don't. But this is not a good sign for Shedeur Sanders. He's, of course, supposed to be, or he is listed as the third quarterback on the Cleveland Browns depth chart. But for whatever reason, we have now discovered that Shedeur Sanders is not running the Browns scout team. And in fact, he may not be getting any practice reps.
Something strange is going down inside the Cleveland Browns organization, and it's way deeper than just player competition. Behind those locker room doors, something big is being hidden, something the team doesn't want the world to see. It all kicked off the second Shedeur Sanders walked into that building, and from that moment, everything changed. First came the cover-up, practice footage gone without a trace, like it never existed. Media access shut down, cameras blocked off, reporters suddenly told no questions. Even players were warned to keep their mouths shut. Fans noticed the silence, and confusion quickly turned into suspicion.
Told y'all he's not even running team reps at all. We already put that out there, right? But remember when they got Zappy Bailey and I told y'all, pay attention to that move. The video is up there. We all knew the move of getting Zappy Bailey, the former Patriots, former Kansas City Chiefs. We know what the reasoning was. It was not to utilize Shedeur Sanders.
Why did the Browns suddenly go from posting flashy hype clips to acting like the CIA overnight? Then boom, it all blew open when offensive coordinator Tommy Rees slipped during a chill interview. He was just answering normal football questions until he said too much. He didn't name drop anyone. He didn't technically break rules, but the look in his eyes gave it all away. The tone, the tension, the careful wording, it screamed panic. Tommy tried to play it cool, to stick to the script, but he ended up revealing what the Browns have been hiding all along.
That's Bailey Zappe of New England Patriots backup quarterback fame, a quarterback that Bill Belichick was inexplicably in love with for reasons I don't know. Reasons I don't know. He was inexplicably in love with Bailey Zappe. But nonetheless, Bailey Zappe, who had been with the Chiefs, he got cut or actually put on the practice squad, I think. I think the Browns brought him over. Whatever it is, who cares? Why is this is no.
Shedeur Sanders isn't just adjusting fast, he's rising fast. Too fast. Way ahead of the team's plan. And now Cleveland's trapped in a quarterback storm they built themselves. And it's spinning out of control. This isn't gossip. This isn't some made-up Twitter rumor. This is a full-blown crisis inside the Browns' walls, and it's bursting out for everyone to see. So what exactly are they hiding from us? And why does it feel like every so-called team update, every press interview, every practice report is just smoke and mirrors? Let's dig into it, because Tommy Rees didn't mean to blow anything open, but he did. He tried so hard to play it cool, tossing out the usual coach talk about competition, development, and taking it day by day. But then came the question about Shedeur Sanders, and that's where everything slipped. Instead of giving a standard answer, Rees froze for a second, then nervously said, "We're being very mindful of how we develop young players. We don't want to rush anything. It's about long-term balance. But here's the thing. Nobody asked about rushing him. Nobody mentioned development plans." That comment came straight from his own panic, and it told fans everything they needed to know. Rees basically confirmed what everyone's been whispering.
Wonder at this point is, why is he on the squad? Who's running the show? Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam? Because I've told you guys, I did not think he would get cut, because I don't think Jimmy Haslam will allow him to get cut. Because I don't care what they say. I don't care what Jimmy Haslam says. You won't convince me he wasn't Jimmy Haslam's pick. All right? I'm sorry. Your coach and your general manager does not make a pick in the 5th round, and they show the camera on them, and they both look like they're mad as hell.
The Browns are holding Shedeur back on purpose. Not because he's failing, but because he's too good, too fast. He's growing quicker than they expected, and it's throwing the whole quarterback order into chaos. The moment Reese realized he'd said too much, he started scrambling, switching topics to Dillon Gabriel, then Bailey Zapp, then mumbling about continuity. Classic cover-up, classic damage control. He dodged the question completely, and that silence said it all. The real issue isn't whether Shedeur is improving, it's why the Browns are terrified to admit it. On paper, the team insists everything in the quarterback room is competitive but respectful. They paint this perfect picture of harmony, everyone focused, everyone united. Total lie. Behind closed doors, that QB room's a silent battleground. 3 quarterbacks, 1 future, 0 patience. Dillon Gabriel plays it safe, accurate, disciplined, does what he's told. But that's exactly why he's feeling the pressure now, because Shedeur isn't just playing to fit in. He's coming for the throne. Dillon Gabriel doesn't scare anybody. He's the kind of quarterback who keeps games close but never actually wins them. Solid? Sure. Safe? Definitely. But a true franchise guy? Not even close. And Bailey Zapp? Come on. He shouldn't even be part of this conversation. He's got that practice squad vibe. Nice guy, good attitude, maybe solid in emergencies. But let's be real. He's not the future of the Cleveland Browns. The fact he's even being talked about as QB2 is straight up comedy, and everyone inside that locker room knows it. Then there's Shedeur Sanders, the real problem for the status quo, the disruptor, the spark that flipped the entire team dynamic the second he walked in. He's got that rare mix of confidence, swagger, and command that you can't fake. When Shedeur steps on the field, people feel it. Teammates, reporters, even fans watching from the stands. That's why the air in the QB room feels heavy lately. Because he's not just competing anymore. He's taking over.
Let's see what we have here. If Bailey Zapp shows any life or any kind of resemblance of a starting quarterback or even a guy that can come in and spot you a game or two, this is a guy I think that you roll forward into next year with, possibly.
Let me put your mind at ease here about these quarterbacks going into next year. There is nothing that we could possibly see on Saturday from Bailey Zapp that's going to say, hey, maybe this is a guy to keep around next year. We're playing the freaking Baltimore Ravens in a standalone game. It's not like Bailey Zapp, hey, we're going to give you the next 3 games to kind of see. This is the only game.
The coaching staff feels the shift, and it's got them nervous. Some of the older vets still back Gabriel because he's quiet and predictable, the safe pick. But the younger guys, they're already gravitating towards Shedeur. You can literally see it in the clips. The way they follow him during walkthroughs, the way they light up when he takes charge. That's dangerous for Gabriel, because once a locker room believes in someone, no depth chart can stop it. So Cleveland can keep up the act, pretending it's an open competition, but everyone already knows the truth. Gabriel's just holding the seat warm. Shedeur Sanders is coming for the throne, and all the blackout policies, the media silence, the weird hesitation from Tommy Reese, it all points to one explosive reality. The Browns are scared of what's about to happen. The Browns aren't managing quarterbacks anymore, they're managing egos, and that never ends well. Let's be real here. The Browns aren't hiding Shedeur Sanders because he's not ready. They're hiding him because they're scared of what happens once the world sees what he can really do. This isn't about development or long-term balance. It's all about control. Once hype hits a certain level, it can't be contained. Once a locker room feels a true leader in its midst, depth charts stop meaning anything. And that's exactly what Cleveland is terrified of. They don't want a quarterback controversy exploding on social media. They don't want the locker room dividing into Team Dillon and Team Shedeur. And they definitely don't want reporters turning every practice rep into breaking news. Because they know the second footage leaks of Shedeur throwing that perfect deep ball, smooth and effortless, the questions will start flying. The media will demand to know why he's not starting. Fans will lose their minds online. And quietly, players will start picking their side. Dillon Gabriel will stop looking like the leader and start looking like a placeholder. The truth is, the Browns aren't preventing chaos. They're just delaying it. Every time they roll out those bland, robotic talking points, we're focused on internal development. There's no rush. We have a plan. Competition brings out the best in everyone. It's not confidence talking, it's fear. They're not managing a quarterback room anymore. They're fighting to hold on to control of a situation that's already slipping through their fingers. And the craziest part? The whole league's starting to notice. The Browns aren't managing quarterbacks anymore. They're managing egos. Dillon Gabriel's desperate not to lose his job before it even begins. Bailey Zappe's just fighting to stay on the roster. The coaching staff's terrified of picking the wrong guy and losing the locker room, while the front office fears looking clueless. And Tommy Rees? He's stuck pretending none of this chaos exists. But here's the truth. You can't bury talent. You can't hide presence. And you definitely can't silence momentum. The more Cleveland tries to control Shedeur Sanders, the louder his name gets. They thought shutting down cameras, hiding practice, and giving robotic interviews would kill the buzz. Big mistake. In today's football world, once the internet grabs hold of a story, there's no stopping it, only feeding it. The Browns' blackout created suspicion, and that suspicion turned into obsession. Fans are breaking down old clips, analyzing body language, even timing how long Gabriel takes to answer questions compared to Shedeur. It's wild. Cleveland wanted to kill the hype, but they've done the opposite. They've turned Shedeur Sanders from a rookie quarterback into a myth. Every time they refuse to talk about him, people assume something huge is being hidden. And now the mystery's bigger than the game itself. Every missing clip now feels like proof that Shedeur Sanders is lighting it up in practice. Every time the Browns dodge a question, fans assume it's because he's already outplaying Dillon Gabriel. They turned him into a story, tried to bury it, and now it's a movement. The craziest part? Cleveland did this to themselves. If they'd treated this like a normal rookie development process, none of this mess would exist. But the moment they shut down cameras and went silent, they confirmed every suspicion fans had. They're not protecting Shedeur. They're protecting themselves. But from what? What are they so afraid of? The truth goes way beyond football. This isn't just about a quarterback competition. It's about business, power, and control. And it starts at the very top. Shedeur Sanders wasn't brought to Cleveland just to play ball. He was brought in as a business move. Owner Jimmy Haslam saw what everyone else saw. Shedeur brings attention, hype, and money. The second he signed, ticket sales spiked, merch flew off shelves, and suddenly the Browns were back in every national headline. That's not luck, that's marketing. But that's also where the tension started. The coaching staff didn't ask for him. Kevin Stefanski didn't design his offense for him. Tommy Rees didn't plan to develop him. Shedeur was dropped in from ownership, and that power play split the building in half. Ownership wants visibility. The front office wants long-term stability. The coaches want control. And Shedeur threatens all three. If he starts too early and struggles, ownership takes the heat. But if he dominates, the coaching staff loses control of the locker room. That's why Cleveland's frozen, scared to commit, scared to act. This isn't football anymore. It's politics. The Browns aren't developing a quarterback. They're trying to contain a takeover. And deep down, everyone in that building knows it. Shedeur Sanders isn't waiting his turn. He's claiming it. The Browns can delay, deflect, and hide behind their development plan, but everyone knows how this ends. Dillon Gabriel and Bailey Zappe were never built to be the long-term answers. They're placeholders, names on a chart that's already changing, whether the team admits it or not. Gabriel is safe, polished, and obedient, follows the playbook, avoids mistakes, does everything the coaches ask. But he doesn't spark excitement. He doesn't move the locker room or change games. He's the type of QB you can survive with, not win with. And Zappe? He's not even part of the real conversation. He's a backup body, a safety net, a just-in-case option. The fact he's being mentioned as QB2 is proof the Browns are scared to fast-forward the inevitable. Because Shedeur Sanders is different. He's got it. That raw pressure, that energy, that presence every team dreams of but can't fake. You can see it, feel it, and that's why the room's getting tense. Reporters can't stop asking about him. Tommy Rees sounds more nervous every week. Even teammates speak carefully when his name comes up, because deep down, they all know what's coming. Once Shedeur gets his chance, there's no turning back. Even insiders are starting to drop hints. Multiple reports now say the Browns expect him to start this season, and that kind of language isn't random. It means the plan's already shifting behind closed doors. Gabriel can play it safe. Zappe can compete, but they're trying to hold back something they can't stop. Time's against them, and Shedeur Sanders is coming fast. The Browns can stall all they want, but momentum doesn't wait, and that breaking point's coming faster than Cleveland wants to admit. They keep preaching patience and long-term plans, but that talk's starting to sound like PR spin instead of football reality. And the reality is simple. Shedeur Sanders isn't the future, he's the present, and Cleveland knows it. You can feel the shift building week by week. More pressure, more questions, more noise. Analysts are already asking why he isn't getting real reps. Fans are getting louder. The coaching excuses, getting thinner by the day. You can't stall momentum forever. It breaks through walls. And the truth everyone inside the building's too scared to say is this. Shedeur Sanders isn't being developed, he's being delayed. They're holding him back, waiting for a moment they can't avoid. Because once he steps on that field, everything changes. The depth chart, the locker room, the franchise, everything. That's what Cleveland fears most. Not failure, but transformation. Once Shedeur plays, the Browns stop being quiet and cautious. They become a national storm. Gabriel can take safe snaps. Zappi can float in the mix, and coaches can dodge questions all they want. It won't stop what's coming. The Browns didn't just draft a quarterback. They brought in a movement. And the longer they hide it, the bigger it grows. The fans will demand it, the media will push it, and the locker room will feel it until there's no choice left but to hand the offense to Shedeur Sanders. The only real question isn't if he takes over, it's when. Cleveland thought they could mute the noise, black out the cameras, and spin the narrative. But the storm's already here. Instead of silencing the noise, the Browns created the loudest storyline in the entire N.F.L. Shedeur Sanders wasn't supposed to shake things up this early. He was supposed to sit, learn, and wait his turn. But Shedeur doesn't fit into that kind of script. He's not a background player. He's not a future option. He's the moment, right now. Cleveland's blackout only made the mystery bigger. Tommy Rees's little slip-up made it obvious. The media pressure, the locker room whispers, the fan obsession, none of it's fading. If anything, it's building toward that one moment the Browns can't stop. Because they didn't just bring in a rookie, they brought in a headline. They brought in a force who doesn't wait for permission, who doesn't need PR hype or fancy marketing. Shedeur Sanders carries his own buzz, always has, always will. And whether Cleveland's ready or not, everyone already knows how this story ends. They can dodge questions, hide practice tapes, and feed fans scripted lines. But eventually, the truth walks out onto the field. And his name is Shedeur Sanders. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because this story's only getting louder, and you don't want to miss what happens next.